educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the July 13th, the wonderful Wednesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. We do not make that one little 2x4 shift. Well, what that means is we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I are going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I do want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. Would love to hear from you at 877-927-6648. If you can't call in, we've got you covered there too. You can always let those fingers do the walking, which means go ahead and send me an email. Now send it to Steve at TFNN.com. And inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, when you're a Tiger's Den, well, any ping will do, private or public, but I would prefer the private only because I can keep track of your requests a little bit easier out there. So let's go ahead and get this show started on wonderful Wednesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, we've got a bit of a mixed bag out here, but things are pretty green. You've got the Dow that's off 53 points, and the tranny's down 115. Otherwise, the other U.S. indices are trading to the upside, although a couple of them flat, like the Russell, which is up 79 cents. The S&P, which is up 4 points. The NASDAQ is up 55, or about 0.5%. Semis are up a little over 1%, or 29 points. You've got gold trading out at $17.36. That's up $11, or nearly 0.7%. Silver's up 19 pennies, 1%. 19.15 is the print there. Light sweet crude is back 31 pennies at 95.53. It still has a buy the D point pattern. That low is being tested. Natural gas up 54 cents. 6.70 is the print there. That wants higher price. My recollection is it's trading above the top of its daily profile. And the 30-year Treasury wants to move higher as well. She's trading out at 140 even, Steven. That's 21 ticks to the upside. Leading the charge to the upside, dollar-wise, you've got Tesla. It's up $23, a little over 3%. Chipotle up $21, nearly 2%. Azamil Holdings up $16, nearly 4%. O'Reilly Automotive up $15. Domino's Pizza up 13. So we've got some movers, and we've also got some shakers. Those shakers are Google down $25, a little over 1%. Granger Worldwide off $14 and change. That's off 3%. Saia Inc., the transportation group, they're down 6%, $12. Old Dominion is off $9. So there's your reason for the trannies to be trading to the downside. So where do we want to begin? We're going to begin, I think, with the equity future contracts out here. Now, we're going to take a look at these charts, and I'll add something to them momentarily. But first, let's just take a look at what's going on from a profile standpoint. From a profile standpoint, the ES Mini, upper left-hand side, price pulled back intraday this morning after the CPI data came out. And price pulled back into the bullish zone of its profile. Bullish zone because you have a center of a profile, which where people believe, where buyers and sellers believe there's fair value between 36.89 and 38.42. But because there's both buyers and sellers at that level, and there's only buyers at 36.89 out there, then this is a bullish structured profile. So that's your support zone. That is held. Now, in the case of the NQ out here, I've got a couple different sets of profiles. We've talked about that over the past couple of days out here. But prices below the profile that I think makes the most, that is the most important. They're all both important. But from a resistance standpoint, it's at 12,197. Yet, when we take a look at the NQ, its trend lines. Let me get this tool up on my screen here. If we take a look at the trend lines inside the NQ, now you can see they're trading inside a wedgie. out there, both a rising and a descending trend line out here. So as far as upside action, don't know that there's going to be a ton of upside action out there. Maybe price can get up to the 12,197, but it's in the get smart cone of silence. Now, I don't know which way it is going to break, but it's trading between trend line support and trend line resistance. I know you might say, well, why did you do that for the ES Mini? Because it's not trading into really trend line support, so to speak, not as clear as the NQ. In the case of the ES Mini, it's got all kinds of trend lines to the downside. Now, if we take a look at the Dow Equity Future contract, like the ES Mini, bullish structured profile, that's between the range of 29,983 and 33,27. Now, just because it's bullish in structure does not mean that sellers can't overrun them. It's just that they've got a tough task ahead of them. If we take a look at the trend lines inside the Dow Equity Future contract, we're going to see it looks very similar to the NQ. So it's trading in that cone of silence, trading with inside those trend lines. That says upside potential here, probably about 31,360. And then finally, let's finish this off by taking a look at the Russell 2000, really consolidation with inside its daily profile out there. If we take a look at its trend lines, the bottom, so it's traded down into a trend line level of support, but not up to the trend line resistance area. So resistance here inside of the Russell 2000 is at that 1772 mark. So that's what's going on. I think that's the best picture from a daily standpoint as to what the equity future contracts are doing. Now, let's take this one step further like we did yesterday. Let's start with the S&P 500. And in the S&P 500, we're going to take a look at its 4 different time frames that we track here for bullish or bearish signals. We take a look at the S&P 500 right now. We have a bearish crossover for its daily time frame. So that's not a good scene out there. It keeps reverting back and forth as we get these rallies out here. But right now we have 92 instruments trading above the top of the daily profile and 140 below. So that's not a great scene out there with regard to the daily time frame. If we take a look at the start here, I really meant to start in the 1 hour time frame. The 1 hour time frame is certainly bearish. 107 trading, now this is from a profile standpoint, a market breadth standpoint, 107 instruments trading above the top of their profile for 60-minute, 218 below. We take a look at the 4 hour time frame chart, bearish. 79 trading above, 256 below. Let me just make sure that the daily is correct still, and it is. 92 above, 140 below. And the weekly profile, it is very bearish out there for the S&P 500, only 39 above the top of a profile and 254 below. So not a great outlook for the S&P 500. But watch the ES Mini. If it can close above the top of its profile out here, that's at 3842. That's going to suggest a further move higher. If we look at the NQ out here, or really the NASDAQ 100, let's come back and let's take a look at its hourly time frame. Hourly time frame just changed to the bullish side. What do you mean there, Stevie? 34 instruments from a 60-minute time frame are trading above the top of their 60-minute profile, whereas 29 instruments are trading below the bottom of their profile. That gives us a bullish crossover. If we look at the 4 hour time frame chart, 4 hour time frame chart is bearish, 21 above, 41 below. Daily time frame out here, it's still slightly bullish. And I mean very slightly. 20 above, 19 below out there. And when we take a look at the weekly time frame chart, what do we have? Bearish. Bearish from a crossover standpoint, 6 above and 33 below. So what we have out here, we have those same conditions as yesterday to suggest to expect and anticipate a choppy market. And I really think when we take a look at these trend lines here in the NQ and YM and the Russell 2000, that's really a signal to you and I as well. Steve Rhodes with TFNN.
In a time of booming inflation, where your purchasing power is eroded, there's no better place to protect your hard-earned money than in gold. Vista Gold's flagship asset is the Mount Todd Gold Project in the Northern Territory of Australia. This is Australia's largest undeveloped gold project. We are talking a world-class gold project in a Tier 1 mining district. This is a large-scale, low-cost project with significant existing infrastructure in a politically safe and friendly mining jurisdiction. Vista Gold just completed the Mount Todd feasibility study, which resulted in a 7 million ounce gold reserve in a 16-year mine life. All of this, combined with the approvals of all major operational as well as environmental permits. This distinguishes Mount Todd as an attractive, de-risk partner, ready development stage gold project, Vista Gold trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol VGZ.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when markets open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. Let's get to a couple of questions that have come in. The first one coming in from Nancy inside the Tiger's Den. Nancy asked if I could discuss the perigee pivot point. I had posted this into the Tiger's Den a bit earlier. And so about a decade ago, Nancy, so when I first started my technical trading, from a charting standpoint, I believe the first software package that I went out and got was Ensign Windows. And that was because of really Larry Pesavento and the tools that he was using there. And what I did was I was able to – so then what I did as a next step was just trying to always look for some type of competitive edge, some type of secret out there, something along those lines. And what I did was I took all of the planetary aspects and all of the lunar aspects and digitized it. So I paid a bunch of money to have the New American Femoris. I've got about, I think, 300, 400, 500 years worth of data. I could have gotten more, but really 300, 400, 500 years worth of data is plenty enough for me out there. And so I've got it all digitized out there. And what I did was I was able to take that digital file, create a program, and then plot all that on my charts. What I was looking for was consistency. It was that, you know, I say every morning, I say it my entire life, I believe this, and I don't just say it, I believe it, I live it, which is that everything in life happens for us, not to us out there. Well, in this case here, the for us was I was unable to find anything really consistent with the exception of one thing when it came to all that work after spending a ton of money. I'm not saying they don't work, but when I plotted them, I was looking for something consistent that was objective that I could easily be able to utilize out there. What that actually led to, though, Nancy, was that's where I identified the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, top and bottom pattern out there, which is a way better pattern, quite frankly, or at least in my opinion, for the type of trading that I do than the celestial aspects. However, the one celestial aspect that, or in this case here, was a lunar aspect that was consistent was the perigee, which is when the moon is closest to us during its lunar cycle, and apogee, which I refer to as pivot points. Now here, I'm just showing you the part of the Excel file. This is for the moon cycles just from 2000 and 1 to 2100. Like I said, I've got 300 or 400 years worth of these cycles. So I know specifically when perigee takes place. And that took place at 9:02 ephemeris time. Eastern Daylight Time, that was 5:02 this morning. So then what I do is, and I can't tell you why this works. Not because I can't tell you, but because I can't tell you. It's just like electricity. I don't know how it works. I just know that it works. But what I do know is that apogee and perigee also work that same way. And this is the craziest, and we're seeing it in play as we speak right now. Just got 4 instruments with the perigee lunar phase marked at the exact time that it came in at 5:02. So in the case of the ES Mini, that's at 38.3575. Now the high that we've seen so far today is 38.3475. Okay, 1 point. And you can see how that has acted as resistance. Now, if price is able to close above that, that's going to suggest being long or to consider being long. Whereas as long as price remains below that, that says being short is just fine. If we take a look at the NQ 3 times so far today. The first time was at the time, the 30-minute bar that ended at 10:30, then the one that ended at 11 o'clock. So in those 2 30-minute bars out there, we had 2 tests of that perigee pivot point, 11.829. Now, where it's 1:22 in the afternoon, we've had our 3rd test out here. Now, I don't know what's going to happen during the next 8 minutes, but as long as price remains below 11.829.25, for those of you that are short or thinking of short, I don't have a reason to suggest otherwise. I would if price closed above those levels. For example, take a look at Goldilocks. Gold is above that area. So that key pivot point out there is 1724.90. If we take a look at light sweet crude, what did it do today? Well, its first rally, the first rally on a 30-minute basis was at 10:30 to 11. Where did price find resistance? At that 97.20 level. The same during the very next session out there. So these are numbers, Nancy, that for reasons I do not know. I mean, this is the exact point in time when the Earth and when the Moon is closest to Earth during the current lunar cycle out there. And why does that act as support or resistance? Again, what I did was I took what basically was, because it was most of the testing was done on the Dow, because the Dow I had 100 years worth of data. So I took 100 years worth of data and tested every single, and I mean every single lunar cycle, every single planetary alignment out there, looking for some type of consistency like this. So here, this is not Stevie giving you BS out here. You're seeing it live and in action. And again, I can't, and it's not a swing point. These are not swing points that are marking. Nobody would have selected 38.35.75 as a level of potential support or resistance out there. So I don't talk about it much out here, but today it's live. And so Nancy, I hope that helps you out. And everybody really should write those pivot points down. Now, I have found that the 30-minute time frame is the best time frame for this, but test it out on your own. You've got the levels out here. You know it was at 5:02 exactly this morning if you've got an intraday chart that you can post that. Otherwise, just identify 38.35.75 for the ES Mini, 11.829.25 for the NQ, 17.24.90 for gold, and 97.24 light sweet crude. And just watch how price deals with those levels. That will help you. And most certainly on an intraday basis, if you're an intraday trader, which many of the folks that are inside the Tiger's Den are, that will absolutely assist you in your trading and investing out there. So I hope that helps you out with the answer to that question. Let's go to our next question. This is coming in from the Tiger's Den as well, and this is from S&P. There's 2 instruments that S&P would like to take a look at. The first instrument is EQT. So let's pull up EQT, see what the heck that it is. And it is trading out. Nice day today, that's for sure, trading out at 37.13. Now, what I meant about a nice trading day today is quite a wide-ranging bar. But also, you can see that price is trading above the top of that daily profile. So that's at the 35.95 level. Now, S&P just asked me to review the charts. So I don't know if you're long, you're looking to get long. We'll look at my white background charts here momentarily. So the next level of potential resistance, the next battleground, should be at 37.78. That is the bottom of the daily profile out there. So it looks like that's where things want to head to. Now, as we switch over to the white background charts, what you're going to see here is there was a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom pattern. Again, that is really weird. Okay, now we're back to where it should be. So this is the Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom signal. Look at the top out here inside of EQT. That was confirmed with a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. The bottom out here was confirmed with a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. Confirmed because it was confirmed with a bullish reversal candle. the cavalry, excuse me, buyers and sellers, are really what I look to paint signals for you and I. So that was on the trading day of July 7th out there. It gave that bullish engulfing candle. Now you've got a small A to B equals CD to the upside, but it looks like price wants to continue higher, and I would say 37.78 is that next battleground. When I take a trade here at 37.13, knowing that 37.78 might be a resistance level, probably not. And volume today is 3.7 million shares. The swing point that is taking out S&P was from July 11th, 4.6 million shares. So it's got volume. You're going to have a confirmed A to B equals CD to the upside. Now, sorry about that. Don't like to cough into the microphone there. We're going to go to a break here. So Stevie's going to get nice and hydrated. Not that I'm not already. Talk about drinking water. But I'll go back here to the black background charts. S&P can take a look at this, as well as you folks. You can take a look at the A to B equals CD patterns. Next price objective, 38.05. Above that, 39.39. Above that, 41.09. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metal sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back up, folks. Let's go out to Philly and speak with John. John, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
Steve, I'm doing very well. And glad to hear you're doing the same. And I always love that little motto you have when you start off your show. Don't be, let's see, what do you say? We are pioneers of our future, not prisoners of our past.
Yeah, if you are a trader and an investor, you have to live by that motto. Because it'd be very easy to become a prisoner of your past, right?
Yes, indeed. Absolutely. And Tom O'Brien and Larry Pesavento will say things like, well, there's always another trade, which is absolutely true.
Absolutely.
And there are always losers trading-wise in this occupation, but you leave those behind. Go to your future.
As a kid, I was a bag boy and a stocker and all that stuff in the grocery stores in my younger years out there. And anybody who's worked in a grocery store, you see all kinds of product that's being thrown out, which is unfortunate, because you've got all kinds of folks that could utilize that food, whether it's expiration or just produce that goes bad. It's just the cost of doing business when you run a grocery store. In our business, that cost happens to be a bad trade. And as long as you use stops out there, use proper position sizing, everybody will be, just fine. So, but yeah, you got to be a pioneer of your future for sure when it comes to just anything out there. It's very easy to get down on oneself.
Steve, I wanted to direct a comment first, ask a question second.
Okay.
First, a comment directed towards Nancy.
Yes.
And other Denners and other people listening to your show now. Steve just spoke of his discovery of the utility of using apogee and perigee on selected markets. I will just share with all of you, I knew Steve quite well back in 2013 when he was doing the research that he just described here 10 minutes ago. And I remember it vividly. It was November, December 13. And Steve had not developed confidence in its utility, and I started playing with it as a trader.
Yes.
And mind you, I've been a long-time member of the Tiger's Den and the TFNN group.
Yes.
I am not a show host, nor do I author recommendations and or newsletters. I kind of view myself as a forever learning practitioner, using lots of the skills, tools, and techniques that all the TFNN team members produce. Tom O'Brien, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, David White, Steve Rhodes. But I will just have to give a huge plug, Steve, that you shared with me and others who would listen back in 2013, this discovery. I immediately started putting that to use, testing things, see if I could blend the use thereof with my techniques and style, and found that it could be very productive. Certainly never a holy grail, not a holy grail,
absolutely,
but certainly a useful tool. So I'll just have to give a plug, Steve, to that discovery of yours, and to anybody who is thinking about using your services. For me, Steve, that discovery of yours is alone worth the price of your services. So,
well, thank you.
Thank you to you, which I say over and over and over because it is so well deserved.
But we're both, and all of us here, we're all students of this market. As you point out, it's really a laboratory. And so we do experimentation, and each of us try to keep our ear to the grindstone, listen for some other tool that might be applicable out here. And as cool as this tool is, in watching it, the mere fact that it actually led me to that Rhodes Momentum Indicator was an even cooler tool. I thought, because it's I'm able to use that on so many different time frames and so many different charts out there. But anyways, thanks for that kindness, John. I appreciate it. And so that was your statement. Your second thing was going to be a question, as I recall.
Yes, the question is this, Steve. First, me, copper. I speculate, and this is not a forecast, and it's not an opinion. It's a speculation. That's different. But I speculate there's a good chance copper, or more appropriately said, COMEX copper futures.
Yeah.
I speculate the decline that has been huge the past 60 days is on the cusp of bottoming, and I'll just take a wild guess that the bottom comes in the 325 to 315 range. So I'm doing some bottom picking Denner saw a trade action I took in keeping with that idea this morning. My question to you, sir, is there anything that shows up in your work that suggests a turning point low in copper futures is likely, as I speculate, in this 325 to 315 range?
Sure. Excellent question. And I can answer it, or the charts can answer it like this. The right-hand panel that we're looking at right now is the weekly time frame chart for Dr. Copper. And this is taking a look at my synthetic version of the contract right now. And what we can see, John, is last week was a bullish hammer candle that formed. And that was at the 1 to 1.272 A to B equals CD expansion. So as long as price holds last week's low, and today was a test of that, today was another test of it. Yesterday was a test of that level out there. As long as that holds, then on a weekly basis, it says that there is a bottom in place. I wish I could say the exact same thing for the daily time frame. Well, maybe I can. Hold on. Let me see. So yesterday, I'm going to come over to the actual contract, make sure that we're looking at the right thing. So actually, as long as copper holds the level of 3.27, that's a September contract, folks, that we're taking a look at. That was also a daily by the D-point pattern. There was a 3-river Morningstar candle, and so therefore the support level on that is the low of the pattern. The low of the pattern was July the 6th. So you do have already two confirmed, a weekly pattern and a daily pattern, to suggest that copper has bottomed. Any questions about those two charts before I flip over to the white background charts?
So far, so good. Thank you.
Perfect. So now we go take a look at the white background charts out here. What we're going to see is we're going to see several Rhodes momentum indicator signals. Those are these black diagonal lines that get drawn here. So there's your 3-river Morningstar. And even though it has triggered a Rhodes momentum indicator signal, we don't need that to really complete to suggest that there's a bottom, because that, as long as price remains above the July 6th low, that bottom's already been confirmed. If I look at a 5-hour chart, though, today, this is confirming a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom, because this is a bullish reversal candle. Now, on a 5-hour base, or a 300-minute, the battleground that it's dealing with out here is at $3.33, and that is the center of its bullish structured profile. John, on a 5-hour basis, if price can close above that, that's suggesting a move to 346 or 356. The 240-minute chart has a confirmed Rhodes momentum indicator bottom pattern. This is suggesting a move up to 333. Those are the time frames, those are larger time frames that have the real bottoming signals out there. I don't really see anything on the 30-minute basis. I don't necessarily need anything on a 30-minute basis. So, yeah, it looks to me like Dr. Copper, the charts are supporting your instinctive conclusion there. John, is there anything else
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate your help.
You bet. That was John in Philly. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
TFNN has been your trusted source of analysis for bonds, metals, stocks, commodities, and options for years. And we are happy to announce that we are bringing that same caliber of analysis for the Forex market. Teddy Keckstad has 30-plus years of experience in Forex trading, commodity risk management, Forex hedging, volatility, and so much more. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex report every Monday morning with elite coverage of all major currency pairs, including the DXY, Euro dollar, Pound dollar, Aussie dollar, dollar yen, dollar Swiss franc, and so much more. Teddy will recommend specific trades when the market presents them and provide updates throughout the week when warranted. For the month of July, inaugural members to the Tiger Forex Report will receive 25% off the monthly subscription for as long as they're subscribed. Just use promo code TEDDY25 to lock in the added savings. This offer is good only for the month of July, so do not miss your opportunity to save on the Tiger Forex Report. TFNN, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. Definitely my favorite weekend here. The British Open is on for those of you that enjoy golf. Even if you don't enjoy golf, this is a good tournament to watch. And what I especially like about it is because of the time zone difference that we have out there. Now, I'm an early riser. I've been an early riser really forever, and that's because even when I was in middle school out there, I had the Detroit Free Press and the Detroit, what's the other one? The Detroit Free Press and the afternoon paper. I don't know, it escapes me. Anyway, so I was delivering both papers out there. And so you can imagine I was up at 4:30 usually every morning to drive my Schwinn bike up to the facility to grab the papers and then deliver those papers and then come home and go to school out there. So I've always been an early riser, and so I'm sure. And so it goes live tomorrow. I believe it's at around 1 or 1:30 in the morning on Peacock. No, I'm not a streamer, so I'll probably not begin watching. I won't get up till probably about 4 or 4:30 to watch it when it comes on the Golf Channel, Detroit News. Yeah, thank you, Sharky. And anyway, so definitely my favorite weekend of all from a golf standpoint. Not that the Masters is right behind it, but I just because I'm an early bird, I love, and I can go out and play golf, after 2:00, usually when the day's round is over out there. But in any event, let's not talk about golf. Although I could talk an entire show about golf. Who will win? Good question out there. What we're gonna do is go take a look at a couple of requests out here. So S&P had 2 requests. The second was for Tri-Continental Corp. Ticker symbol there is TY, and TY right now is trading. It's trying to get back above and stay above the top of its daily profile. It's really trading right on it. 2651 is the top of the profile. It's trading at 2652. So not a ton here to see. Let's see if we can go over and find some information on those white background charts. So in a moment, we'll get that populated up on our screen here. And we take a look at this. I don't have so was there an A to B equals CD pattern? Let me just open up the daily chart because it sure looks like there is one down there. So I'd say yes, there was. And you got your buy the D point pattern out here. And as long as price remains above 25.68, you may have something. At least that's what it says in the daily time frame. The weekly time frame chart, well, it also has a confirmed buy the D point pattern. So here's the deal. The deal is that red oscillator and change line is really your enemy if you're a bull on this. And that's right now at 27.06. And you really want to see price close above that level. In other words, the bottom signals that have been generated here won't get any kind of traction until price can clear that level of resistance. So 27.06 is the number out here to look for. The monthly chart is saying, that it might want to trade down to 24.67 eventually and over time, and generate a TD9 count bottom. But that couldn't happen. The earliest that could happen would really be not until next month. And it could be the month after where you get that kind of a bottom signal out here. But you do have bottoming patterns. But we can see that the test of that weekly red oscillator and change line is problematic for you, S&P. So I hope that helps you out, and thanks so much for the request. Let's go to our next request, coming in by email. This one is from Hector and Patty. They are our fuel injectors, and they want to take a look at CP. So let's go ahead and type in CP. Let's leave it on the white background charts here for the moment. Let's go ahead and actually read the question. I'm actually kind of multitasking. And that says, happy, wonderful Wednesday. Well, back at you, my friend. CP, is this pony getting ready to make a run topside out here? You really like when a stock leaves a low volume possible B point as a target on the way back up. Thanks. So as we take a look at CP, and that is Canadian Pacific Railway out here. So a quick peek at this shows what? What's the pattern out here? So the only pattern that I see is really the one that Hector is referring to, which is really testing the swing point lows. So because of that, what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to the black background charts. Because there, I can open that up. We can take a look at the volume as price is coming down into these prior swing areas out here. So let's pull this back just a tad. So one swing area, let's draw a line. Let me get the right line. I don't want this one to say perigee pivot point. Okay, good. We got the yellow horizontal line. So the first swing point area that it's testing is the one from February 24th. The volume there, Hector and Patty, was 3 million shares. The first time down was with 2 million shares. That was on May the 12th. Rallied from there. The next time that it was down there was really on June the 17th, 2.5 million shares, which were going against 3 million shares. Another light volume test. That's the one I think that you're looking at. And you're asking, is this pony getting ready to ride higher? As long as price can remain above 70.87, 70.87 is the bottom of its daily profile. Its red oscillator and change line is at about 70.68. So that's another level to be watching. But as long as price can remain above 70.87, what price should do is try to target the 74.03 to 76.55 area. That is your sell zone. Sell zone because on a daily time frame, that is your bearish structured profile. So, and the other thing that it may have tested, no, it didn't test the actual swing point from back in September of 2021 out there. When we look at the weekly time frame charts out here, you don't have a test of a swing point there. You do at least have price that is consolidated with inside its weekly profile. Now, this is bullish in structure as well. And we've seen 2 weeks where prices closed above the center, Hector, which is at 71.22. You're trading at 71.22 right now. If on Friday this closes back above it, it's signaling to you that it would like to make a move up towards the top of that profile. And that's at 76.82. Don't know that it'll get there because the sell zone being 75 to 76 out there. But it does look like it wants to move higher. Now, on a weekly basis, what you really want to see this do is clear its oscillator and change line. So we're going to switch back to the white time frame charts here just for a moment so you can see what that is. 71.81 is really a level that you're looking for. Last week was a close above that. If you can close above that on Friday of this week, that would be the type of positive that you're looking for to suggest that this moves to the upside. But do we have any kind of significant bottoms out here in this instrument on either a daily, a weekly, or monthly time frame? The answer is no. The answer is that this looks like it's in a really large consolidation. Not large, but it's in a consolidation from about the 65 level up to about the 85. So it's about a 20-point consolidation out there. So Hector and Patty, thanks for writing in. You have a wonderful Wednesday as well. Let's go to our next question. This one coming in from David H. in Tomball, Texas. That is CRSP is what David would like to take a look at. That is CRISPR. That is the gene editor, otherwise known as man playing God out there, tool. And the question is, can you give me a buy point for CRISPR Therapeutics out here? Well, this thing is up at its highs right now, or recent highs, I should say. And it does look like what it wants to do next is get up to about $85. So I'm looking at the monthly chart. I'm starting on the right-hand side, the larger time frame. And what you'll see on the larger time frame is a TD9 count bottom that formed a TD9 count breakout support, 46.84. You know, John was nice enough to compliment the apogee and perigee pivot point out here. You know, we should also compliment Tom DeMark for creating the TD9s. Now, he's more known for the TD sequential and combo out there. But I got to tell you, the TD9s are the coolest thing out here. The sequential count, you don't see those as often. But I'm not saying don't pay attention to them. You just don't see them as often out here. But in the case of CRISPR for the monthly time frame, you've got a TD9 count bottom. It had a TD9 count top, by the way, as well. So that was the top. So 85.02. So your question is, where is there a buy point? It's really going to be on some type of pullback or retracement out here. That retracement level right now that you'd be looking for says about 74.45 to 75.50. That's the top. I say that's the I tell you what, let's finish this off when we get back to this break so I give you the accurate information. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Vista Gold owns and operates the largest undeveloped gold project in Australia, the Mount Todd Gold Project. Vista Gold just completed their feasibility study, resulting in a 7 million ounce gold reserve. Vista Gold has all major permits approved and has retained CIBC capital market assistance in evaluating alternatives and in completing an accretive transaction. Vista Gold trades on the NYSE American and TSX under the ticker symbol VGZ. Vista Gold, executing a strategy to create shareholder value.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks, and back to CRISPR Technologies or Therapeutics out there. CRSP is a ticker symbol. So price is above the top of the daily profile, price is above the top of the weekly profile, and price right now is trading right at the top of the monthly profile where sellers reside. That's at 81.76. The high so far this month has been 82.68. Price is trading at 81.48. So there's the possibility, David, that price is hitting at least a resistance level, and therefore you're asking for a bottom. Where's an entry point? That entry point hasn't been revealed to us. If I look at a 30-minute time frame chart, the last two entry points would have been the Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. That one shows up on June 22nd out there. And that was June 22nd at about 11:30 in the morning when that was confirmed. The next one that came in, Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom, that was confirmed at 10 o'clock in the morning on July the 1st out there. So we know that pattern is great for helping us identify tops and bottoms. We don't have a topping signal here for the 30-minute time frame chart. But that's what I would be looking for. So I don't think the pattern that would take you into a long position inside of CRISPR Therapeutics has presented itself to me, and I'm not that good to be able to see into the future. I wish I could. But I have not figured that one out just yet. So I think you've got to watch CRISPR, and maybe it's an A to B equals CD to the downside on the 30-minute basis. It's likely going to be, or Rhodes momentum indicator, maybe it's a TD9 count bottom out there. So as you see this pullback, just simply write back to me. We'll pull up the short-term charts out there, and we'll both take a look at it to try to figure out what it's communicating to us. So, folks, as we end the show out here, if I go back, just simply take a look at our market update. What do we know for sure? What do we know for sure out here? Not much. The U.S. dollar index, by the way, I had mentioned that this had formed I think I mentioned it, formed a TD9 count top out here, and as long as price remains below 108.08, price is likely to pull back out there. So have a great day. Stay tuned. You've got 2 more trading hours up with your favorite polar bear. He's certainly my favorite polar bear. That's David White. And Obi-Wan Kenobi, he'll take us on home. I'll be back with you tomorrow on a terrific Thursday. You have a wonderful Wednesday. Take care, folks.